Allah is the one true God.
That is a little confusing.
Muhammad was the prophet, and then we are all his people. And it's just so nice.
I would say in Catholic religions, the women are leading relationships.
I asked him when we were leaving, I'm like, why are there no women here? And he looked at me like I was stupid.
Men and women are kind of raised the same.
It's like, no, you, this, it's just the Cardi B thing.
But why are the men weak?
Because the women are masculinized. Yeah, well, I grew up Catholic. I guess the hardcore, there's a lot of division there. But you know that in the Quran, they talk more about Jesus than Muhammad. Jesus is brought up all the time. He's not actually God, though. That's the difference in Catholicism, why it didn't really make sense to me. Because how could you be a human and God? Catholics believe that Jesus is God and God is God. But they're the same, like Father, Son. It's like this weird... that doesn't make any sense to me. But in Islam... the reason that I converted is Allah is the one true God. That's the one, that's the creator of the universe, the creator of everything. Jesus was there to spread his message. Muhammad was the prophet. And then we are all his people. We are all his creation. And that just makes the most sense to me. Because like, what's the best explanation for why the world exists? There must be a creator. But instead of like a human half body eating.
Yeah, that is a little confusing.
That's why I like, it's just there's one creator. And also they're really strict and on their beliefs on masculinity and femininity, on the differences between men and women and our roles and what we should be doing. I went to the mosque and I was with some well-respected people in the Islamic community. I don't want to say who. I was with them and after the first time praying there, you get on the rug and you do all that. And I asked them when we were leaving, I'm like, why are there no women here? Like, I never thought about them before. I was in the mosque and like, I never noticed, like, there's no women here. And then I asked him that question. He looked at me like I was stupid. Like, they're at home. They're cooking. Like, why would they don't need to, they pray at home. They don't need to be here. It's the men's job to go out and provide and to go and, but they're not, and I never even realized that they're not there because the division between men and women is extremely important, respected, and it's ingrained in the culture. But that's not the same in any of these other religions.
That's true. In a lot of Christian, and I would say in Catholic religions, the women are leading relationships.
They're in charge.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. What's the other one? She wears the pants. I mean, I heard that all the time growing up. She wears the pants in a relationship. Like, there were so many couples that I can point to and say, yeah, that's...
And they'd be like, oh, she gotta ask the wife. She wears the pants. And then, oh, yeah, the wife. It's just, ew, why?
Well, it's like in America, and I'll say, like, I think this definitely affected me. It's like men and women are kind of raised the same. And they don't really talk about our differences. And even like being in sports, that's like a typically like male dominated, like, men are better at sports, right? And
really? No.
Well, now we got in our leagues.
Oh, no.
Get them out.
To destroy
Get them out.
Good thing you got out of volleyball. Now you'd be destroyed by Dylan Mulvaney. Actually, I think you could beat him up. I think you got him.
I actually rejoined the team after I told you I quit.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so we'll see. But what I realized is like a lot of times like the women in sports are a little bit more masculine because we're kind of like being trained and raised.
It's competitive,
athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I realized. Like, I think women, like, we are happier when they push our differences. But the thing is, in America, they act like we're exactly the same.
The big wake-up call was going to Japan and and you have to go. You have to go just to see how the women act, because this is a big part of your show, and I think it will give you a new perspective. The women there don't have a drop of testosterone in their body. Like, they just the way that they smile, the way that they talk to you, how high-pitched their voice is. It's like, whoa. And it's just so nice. It's just so soothing and pleasant. Like, you order something, okay, and you're like, oh, and you just want to protect them. Just naturally, you feel more like a man because you want to protect and you want to provide for her. You just want to create that nice environment for this beautiful feminine woman. And then you realize there, like, the amount of bullshit that you need to put up with these women in America and London, how combative they are and how hard it is for them to submit. Like, it's not in their nature. Everything in the culture is steering them away from being feminine. It's like no, it's just the Cardi B thing. You need to be the tip top guy in order to make a woman submit. But women are happy to just do that in Japan. The way that they dress, they're just way more girly, and not in like an overly sexual way. None of them have their cleavage out. They're always they're not showing too much like skin. But they're dressed extremely girly with their dresses and their fingernails, and like some always walk around with cat ears because it's goofy. And you see there, like, why am I putting up with women who want to be men at the same time when you could just go to a different place and find an actually feminine woman? You understand why so many guys are just giving up.
Yeah.
You get it. Like, and even now the guys who are becoming women in the West, like, they just want, you see the types of guys that they want, and they're like, yeah, I just need a stud, like I need an ultimate. They just want to get fucked. They just want someone else to take control. It's relinquishing control because it's so hard to be in control when it's a constant battle. But they want someone else to take control and just let the work, you know, I give up. It's just giving up. It's not feeling like a woman. It's just like, fuck, man.
No,
I hate this.
And I think it's even good for American women to see it because it gives us an example, which a lot of women in the West don't have. Like, what feminine women examples do we have in media? What feminine, like, even most...
Ariana Grande, I think, is a pretty good example. Okay. There's very few. Wait,
I mean, I don't really get the. I don't know much about her.
There's very few. There's very few. But the way she acts, she kind of acts and everything. Like, she covers her wrist. She's like, hee. Yeah. She kind of acts like that.
I just mean like women that are truly traditional with like traditional skills. We had a girl that taught an episode of Wife School, and she was like teaching me like cooking basically, right? And I was so inspired just being around her, to be just spending a day with her, because she was just so like the most feminine woman I've ever met in my life. And I think that like in the West, a lot of times, especially people from single parent homes, they've never met someone like that.
And it's not all the women, it's not their fault either. A lot of the time it's the weak men. Like, women can't be in their feminine nature if they're around a bunch of...
But why are the men weak?
Because the women are masculinized too. It's when you act like there's no division, when you separate the idea that we're different.
I have a different take.
What's your take?
So my take is it's the government, because of the way that relationships are set up by the government. And I think that's why. So if me and you are in a contract, right? If we're married, right? And I get paid to walk away, and you lose everything by walking away, you're always going to be trying to make me happy so I don't walk away. I think that influences relationships. And I think that's the shift where you see in relationships where women started like wearing the pants.
Yeah, we don't disagree, but there's many factors. Like that's a major factor. The music that we listen to.
The media.
It's everything. It's just Western culture. It's all of it. The separate, like not having any identity, people always arguing, and the beliefs that we have, everything is steering us in that direction. So